It's the motherfucking 108th podcast, and I'm going to say podcast because we're doing this one public. U.S. teens voice deep discontent, polling finds. Just 1/3 say lives going well.
Really?
Yeah.
Teens? What is that specifically? 13 to 17?
Yeah, I think so. I think they, so, although it has never been easy to be a teenager, the current generation of young Americans feels particularly apprehensive, new polling shows. Anxious about their lives, disillusioned about the direction of the country, and pessimistic about their futures. Just 1/3 of the respondents aged 12 to 17, you were spot on, said things were going well for children and teenagers today. In a survey published Monday by Common Sense Media, a children's advocacy group. Less than half said they thought they would be better off than their parents when they grew up. A downbeat view shared among teenagers in many rich countries, other data shows.
Not just teenagers, probably everybody feels this way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when you think, do you think you'll be better off than your parents?
I hope so. Geez, but I have a prediction. We're all going to be dead soon.
Well, you are right about that, and on a wide enough time scale.
I think in the next 5 years, we're all dead.
All of us, meaning all humans, or what are we talking?
Me, America, just everybody around here probably. But I envy my parents. They had a great life. You know, they grew up in the 70s. Sex constantly, drugs.
You know, I don't know what my parents were up to. They grew up about 2 decades before your parents, but, you know.
My parents worked at a dead-end job, and they bought a house, and at 26.
That was a time. That was a time. You know, the when you could buy houses basically completely on credit.
Just working at a job, as you should.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the age my parents were when they bought a house.
That's
Think about
surreal.
That. Yeah.
The house that your dad still lives in?
Yeah.
See, that would be fun. Imagine if either of us could buy a house that size.
I know, man.
At our age.
Oh, we would both be living in there. We'd deck it out.
It'd
it would
be fucking sick.
Studio.
Yeah. It's not just about teenage angst. A different survey by Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation, the latest installment of which was also released Monday, has asked questions of young people over time and looked at how their answers have changed. Members of Gen Z, ages 12 to 27, are significantly less likely to rate their current and future lives highly than millennials were when they were the same age, it found.
Hey, well, millennials are just stupid, So I don't think that really matters much. I think millennials have their heads up their asses. Sorry, I'm getting smoke right in your face.
No, it's cool. I think millennials were coming off of like is it millennials right after baby boomers?
No, definitely
What's in
not.
between? What's in between? I'm being retarded.
Fuck, I don't know. Gen Alpha or something?
Sure, but okay, so the one
That's not right.
Is it
Gen X?
Gen X. Yeah.
Gen X?
Yeah. So, I think the Gen Xers had it better. The baby boomers got really a great fucking lot.
Amazing.
Yeah. But the Gen Xers had it better, and so I think we were still coming off of, feeling good, and we were looking at the generation before us, and we were like, well, they're fucking stupid. We'll do just fine.
Right.
And then the world crumbled. And so we were cocky. We were a little bit too
You're classifying yourself with the millennials?
I'm don't I fall into
you
that?
28?
27.
You heard it right there, man. It said 27.
I know. I don't think I'm not quite in the Zoomer category. I'm pretty sure.
I'm based off of what you just read. You are.
No,
you don't want to be. You don't want to be classified with me.
This article, sure, but I think if we look up the years. Of millennials versus Zoomers, I think it starts after. When I think Zoomers, I don't know. What year were you born? 98?
99, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be put with these people.
I think the cutoff should be at 2000, because 2000s babies, that freaks me out. That's, I'm like...
That worries you? Just being born in 2000?
Well, yeah, because it just is that's a big cutoff moment where I'm like, damn, you're not even a 90s kid. You're young as fuck.
Yeah, well, I was born in 99. I don't remember anything from the... I remember 9/11, though.
I do not. That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember a lot from when I was little. But
you were too.
I think odds are we are either living currently in the worst generation or possibly the best.
I think it's a mix of both.
See, I really don't know, because things could potentially become amazing for us. I mean, I get $600 a month on Patreon. I could be a millionaire by 26.
Hey, I get $250 a month on Patreon, and if we do go back 20, 30 years, Patreon didn't exist. No money for us that way. And I think we're reaching a weird point where it's like the world is exploding and crumbling in ways it has never done before. It's February and it's 45 degrees right now.
It's very nice, yes.
But at the same time, technology is propelling forward at a untold of rate.
Right.
And, so like you said, it's like it's kind of a race of, is the world going to explode first, or is technology going to solve the problems of the world exploding before that first, and then make our lives super awesome with technology?
I think so. I mean, you make a lot of money on the computer.
I make all my money on the computer.
20 years ago, these internet thing barely even existed.
You're right.
And so although the outside world could be very bad, could get worse, think about how many Indians are born every second. How many Chinese people are born every second? What language are they learning? I bet they're learning English.
Probably.
I bet a lot of them are learning English.
I think a lot of there's been like a big uptick in people learning fucking Chinese.
Not the Chinese people, they're not allowed to have YouTube, but I'm sure the Indians are. I know I get a lot of
Indians
views
certainly are
on the videos where I'm licking my mom's feet from Indians.
Nice.
So our audience is only growing. E-commerce is the way of the future. You see that new Apple thing that just came out?
The glasses or whatever?
I don't know why the teenagers are so worried, man. Before you know it, you're going to... This was my childhood fantasy. That one day I'll be able to look however I want in a VR. All the world around me, I could just change it through my goggles.
Yeah.
These teens, I think they need to look on the bright side here.
Well, I want to keep going because I know that this article sort of points a cause and we might be speaking against it. Anyways, among those 18 to 26, just 15% said their mental health was excellent. Well, I think...
15?
Yeah, 15% said it was excellent. And I don't know.
Who are those people? Let me talk to them.
That's what I was going to... Have you ever been like, damn, my mental health is incredible today?
No.
If it is, I think you might be fucked up.
I was going to say, if anything, these 15% are the ones with real
That's
issues.
Like a sociopath.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you're not looking at the world and all the pain that... Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, don't you know you're about to die?
Don't you know you're about to die?
Don't you know your parents are about to die?
That is true.
That alone has me freaking out every
day. It freaks me out every single day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're excellent? Shut the fuck up for a second.
Shut up. I just don't... You must be fully dissociating.
Right.
They must be having the fucking Google, Apple VR goggles on.
Right.
That's when your mental health is excellent. That is a large decline from 2013 and 2003 when just over half said so. Well, in my opinion, people have become more fucking realistic since then. How about that?
There you go.
Together, the surveys offer an unusually detailed look at the perspectives of teenagers. The data is pretty stark. Our kids are not all right, says James P. Steyer, retard and CEO of Common Sense Media. These impressions among young people could be contributing to a challenge for the presidential campaigns. Why does that matter? With the country's newest eligible voters. Youth turnout and engagement, which helped President Joe Biden in particular in 2020, appear to be down.
Huh.
Well, yeah, no one gives a fuck anymore. For young people, the options that have been available to you your entire lifetime have been either Trump or Biden, says Kristen Soltis Anderson, a founding partner of blah, 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 blah. You may be looking at that and saying, no thanks. Yeah, no shit. It's not that soon-to-be voters are apathetic about public policy. This generation tends to be passionate about issues including climate change, abortion, and the war in the Middle East. But nearly two-thirds of respondents, 12 to 17, said politicians and elected officials did not reflect the needs and experiences of young people. Yeah, really? Joe Biden isn't reflecting your needs? Boys and white respondents were slightly more likely to say so.
I really care about what's going on in Israel. What are you talking about? It doesn't reflect my needs, man.
Well, I think people actually do care a lot about that. But Joe Biden doesn't seem to.
Yeah, I want to bomb Somalia.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I do. What do you mean? He perfectly reflects my values, man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let me finish this.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting animated.
No, I'm skipping ahead because this article,
This is good. This is a really good one.
An issue of prime importance to teenagers across surveys is education. Asked an open-ended question by Common Sense about the most important thing that could be done to improve the lives of children, a plurality, 1 in 5, said improving or reforming the education system. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, what are you going to do? More than half of teenagers said public K-12 schools were doing a fair or poor job. That is a fact. Just 8% said they were doing an excellent job. Who are these retards?
I don't want to hear any kid complain about school because, it's the same thing when it comes to, walkouts. It'll be on the news. All the kids, they walked out of school for some cause.
Sure.
Okay? They just want to get out of school. They just don't like school. 100%. It has nothing to do with, look at them.
If you and I were still in high school right now and you heard there was a walkout in support of the Israeli military.
Yeah, I'd be walking out.
I'd be walking out
in support of Hitler.
Just so I could go home.
Yeah, exactly.
And play COD.
Dude,
I'd literally be walking out, and if they made you Sig Heil on the way out, I would do it so I could go home and play Call of Duty.
I would do it.
Okay. 60% said pandemic learning loss was a problem. Wow, 60% of people are fucking on the money, I guess.
What do you mean? What did it say?
It said 60% said pandemic learning loss was a problem.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very much.
Yeah. And Margaret Spellings, the CEO, blah, 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 and Secretary of Education under George Bush, said the teenagers are absolutely right about that.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad she agrees. We have to get these kids caught up or they're going to have a world of hurt in their lives. And consequently, in our country. Well,
caught up with what? Because really, you don't learn anything in school.
No, I think I think it did fuck them up. I think it's important to be socializing as a kid and learning how to be a person.
Yeah, well, it's more important to teach them how to be good laborers. That's what school does.
Kinda.
Teaches you how to be a good slave.
Yeah, you're right.
How to fill in the dots. Follow the rules. These kids, the generation before us, after us, they're done.
I do think
they're going to eat us alive.
I think, yeah.
They're going to kill us.
Yeah, probably.
This is scary stuff.
A related issue was mental health. In the Common Sense survey, 65% said the mental health of teenagers and children in their community was poor or fair. Girls were more likely than boys to say so. The responses were largely consistent across race. A major driver of the mental health crisis, says this doctor, is the digitization of our lives and social media in particular, which goes against kind of what we were saying in the beginning about the VR goggles being the cure to all our mental health problems.
They all say that, but how?
Teens agree. Asked for the main cause of mental health issues, the largest share said the negative impact of social media and the internet, and the next largest said bullying, including online.
Okay, bullying isn't real. Bullying online especially isn't real. And the reason...
Refer to the classic Tyler, the Creator tweet, which says, cyberbullying, how is cyberbullying real? Ha ha ha, close your computer.
There you go. They attribute the reason why the internet and social media is negatively affecting people. They say it's well, you see all these happy people and you're not happy, and it makes you feel like you're missing out. People post their Instagram story, they're at a party. It makes you feel left out. That's all bullshit. What's really happening, in my opinion, is that we're all spending so much time just zoning out on this shit that... I'm sorry, I got distracted. That we are just not spending time with our family or our friends. We're in the thing.
We're not actually connecting with people.
We're not connecting. If I didn't have a phone, I'd talk to my girlfriend.
I agree.
I spent a good 2 hours with her at night just looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to do. Because the phone is better than real life.
The phone has infinite things inside of it.
Infinite things. There's so much to look at.
My girlfriend has about 3 things inside her brain at any given moment.
Exactly.
And most of them I don't want to hear.
I don't want to hear her talk about her work.
Right.
I don't want to hear her talk in general.
Yeah.
So I pull up my phone. I look at videos
I
of
pull
whatever.
out my phone. Her head is right here, maybe.
Yep.
My phone's right there.
I do put it in a way that blocks her face from my view.
I mean, that's the most ideal.
See, and that's the problem. I want the VR goggles so it's 360.
Oh,
it completely encapsulates.
You don't have to keep your arm up, nothing.
I completely forget there's other people.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
I don't want fake people.
You know, I was over at a friend's house last night for some sort of like they had a pancake dinner thing.
Okay.
And we were all just hanging out. It was just, it was some like just we were all just wanted to hang out. I didn't have any pancakes.
That's nice.
But so the person who invited us over has been playing this game on their 3DS called Tamagotchi Life. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, man, I know Tamagotchi Life.
So it's, for those of you who don't know, it's basically like The Sims, but like without the building aspect is my understanding.
Yeah.
So it's just like socializing. So
Nintendo.
There were 7 of us there, and they had made all of the people that are there into characters on Tamagotchi Life. And so we went through and saw what each character was doing as opposed to what we were doing.
Uh-huh.
And my character and my friend Peter's character, we were both exercising. And, in real life, we were just sitting, and I was kind of idly checking my phone during the lulls in conversation.
Sure.
And so it did make me realize that, this me in the digital, in the Tamagotchi life world was like a better person than me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was doing more productive things. It was probably socializing for real with the other me's. And me in real life was like looking at my phone and more interested in the me in digital life.
I bet he doesn't even have a phone. That's okay. Maybe he has a flip phone.
Maybe he's taking a social media break.
What difference does it really make? You don't matter.
I don't. I know that.
In the grand scheme of things, it's almost like you didn't even exist in the first place. Same with the me.
Yeah.
He's exercising though.
So it's like,
could you just transfer all that energy, all the expectations for yourself into this virtual guy?
Make him buff as fuck. It's like a RPG video game.
If you could put on a VR headset right now, Thomas, and it's indistinguishable from reality, you're a multi-billionaire.
Hell yeah.
You got 10 wives.
Nice.
All the friends in the world that you could ever want, and you like them too.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
You like them. A mansion, helicopters. Would you do it?
Honestly, gonna just throw a torch on everything we've been talking about? No.
No, you wouldn't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, no.
I buy lottery tickets once in a while.
Yeah?
I buy the Powerball and the Mega Millions.
Okay.
Because I most of all, it just gives me hope. It makes me think that I'm going to win potentially, right?
Sure.
Obviously, I never will. And I think that's just God. I think that's the universe just refusing to give me the cheat code.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to work for it, man.
They want you to get it for real.
They want me to get it for real because, listen, if I got $1 billion tomorrow, would I be happy?
I don't. You'd feel like a rush of dopamine, certainly.
I would.
But I don't think long term. No.
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I think last night I was doing stop motion, animating, just hanging out with Kate. Kate would lean over. She would move a little doll. I'd snap a picture. It was thrilling. It was the best time of my entire week. If I had $1 billion, I would be doing that all the time.
Well, here's what I'm wondering as well, because if we had $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
And we could build a giant podcast studio where we didn't have to hold our mics, where we had those, migrants holding our mics like we've talked about, and we had a super insane studio behind us. It was warm and, toasty, whatever we wanted.
We weren't homeless.
Yeah.
We don't live in our car.
Yeah. We don't go from here to the car and edit the podcast on a laptop in the car.
Well, at Starbucks sometimes.
Yeah.
When we need to charge it.
When we need to upload. Yeah. Get the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Would we be happier with all those things podcasting?
Well, this is a miserable experience.
I know.
So I don't know. I think it would.
It's truly what I'm wondering, because I'm thinking when we get this studio at some point, some way, because we're going to keep doing this podcast forever, despite no one listening. I feel like we're going to be dumb enough then to look back at an episode like this and be like, man, those were the days. You know how people do that?
How, or do they? Yeah, I know people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we will too. I think we're going to look back at like now and we're going to be like, oh man, that was it.
I'm always nostalgic for last month.
I agree.
You know, every month I'm like, that was the but I think I could truly appreciate the moment. No matter what moment I'm in, you know?
This one?
Yeah. If I'm taking a shit, I'm appreciative.
Oh, if shit is when I'm perhaps the most appreciative in my whole day.
Yeah, because you're all fucked up in your body.
I'm all fucked up in my body. I went on Oliver's podcast yesterday.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. And we talked a lot about shit, obviously. As Oliver kind of loves to talk about shit.
He loves shit. You see, he keeps adding you to these group chats.
Constantly.
Both of us.
Yeah, I just leave them immediately.
With porn ads.
He DMs me all the time with random shit, and I tell him I never click the videos.
Uh-huh.
It does not deter him from trying.
He's very online.
So committed.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Look up Oliver.
You know, he got back together with his girlfriend.
Oh, good for him.
Because I watched that podcast with you and him.
Yeah.
Which is really funny, you guys. You should go check that one out if you haven't seen it. I love that episode.
I thought it was shit.
Really? Did you watch it back?
I was getting too embarrassed.
Okay. All right. Well, I watched it, and I thought it was funny.
Good.
The thing I thought was funny about it is Oliver made you laugh a lot.
Huh.
Which is rare for you.
Well, I was fake laughing.
It did not seem fake.
It was.
Okay.
Sorry, Oliver. I'm admitting it right now.
Why don't you fake laugh for me?
I respect you. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I completely respect Oliver. You know, I don't know. See, you're not trying to make jokes, seemingly. Oliver, I fake laugh with acquaintances a lot.
Oh, really?
You know, with people I don't really know well, I want to seem very comfortable around them. So I laugh, you know. And I guess I wouldn't even consider it a fake laugh. It's just a...
Slightly forced.
Slightly forced, you know, because the moment calls for it.
Sure. I kind of... I've done that. I've been known to do that. I more offer a fake smile. I find it hard to like actually muster up a haha.
You're fake smiling all the time, man.
Yeah, constantly, man.
So what were you were saying he got back together with his girlfriend? That's cool.
Oh yeah, I just you know, and when I was watching that podcast of you and him, I started to get really bummed out about his life.
Yeah.
Because it seemed terrible and getting worse. And when I talked to him yesterday, it seemed like it was getting better.
Okay.
So good for you, Oliver.
Well, the problem with Oliver, as well as the people in this article, these teenagers, they're playing video games all the time. These video games
he's streaming games constantly.
Not good. Not good for you. I've been playing the finals.
Yeah,
you got to get into that game, man. Oh.
I don't know. You know, last game you got me into was Hyper Demon.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of time on that game.
Yeah.
And then after I came back from Christmas break, I got on once and I had lost the touch and I sucked. And I was like, fuck this game forever. And I didn't go back on.
I haven't touched it in a long time either is the thing. But the finals, man, it's a pretty shitty game. It will take up 50 hours of your time easily.
Jeez.
So, viewers watching at home right now, look up the finals. Oliver, he's streaming video games all the time.
Constantly.
And I get it.
Streaming Skyrim today.
Because it makes you feel like you're doing something. Because you're streaming it. But you're not, Oliver.
Yeah, I guess I have no experience streaming video games, so I don't know if it makes... does it make you feel productive when you do it?
Oh, it's a great waste of time. Yeah, I feel like I feel like I'm making art.
Oh.
Even though I'm not.
Well, I told Oliver I wanted to stream... We were talking about streaming Portal 2 co-op together.
Okay.
Because I just think it'd be funny.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
You know, good juxtaposition of personalities.
Yeah. So...
I have an article right here. It's kind of a more local-based news.
Okay.
You know, if you're watching...
We're both reading the Pioneer Press.
The Pioneer Press. This is today's edition, though.
I got mine 3 days ago because... Eric really roasted me on last podcast about reading a shitty article.
You had a terrible article last time, but this one I would say is an A++.
Okay.
The article you read today, that's a great one.
Redemption.
And you hit record on the Zoom, so this is going to be the best episode ever. This one, this newspaper I stole from a resident at my work. I actually went into his room. I asked him if I could take it. I asked, can I borrow it?
And he probably looked over and said, I don't know why they keep giving me these fucking things. I can't fucking focus with the pain pills.
They wouldn't even be aware that they can't focus.
Yeah,
But this guy, his name's Bob. He's very intelligent. He's very with it. He took the crosswords out.
Nice.
Okay. And I told him I'd bring it back. I never will.
He'll have tomorrow's edition tomorrow, won't he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is about the Minnesota state flag. Do you know they changed the state flag?
I did because they ran like a big contest.
They ran a big contest, and I have no idea.
My buddy Peter, the other me who was also exercising, entered, and he lost.
The flag that they picked is the shittiest design I've ever seen in my life.
I know, I saw it. There were some funny ones in there, but I liked the really bad ones.
Pick something beautiful that represents our state. New flag. Seal. Stirs opposition. Some counties object over process, expense. State GOP claims the DFL is erasing history. Now, I'm gonna skip to the body of this article because I want you to look at this, Thomas. I want you to look at what we had before and what we have now. Because I don't know how anybody could see this as an improvement. Look at this. What is that?
So what's the old one?
The old one is right here, okay? There's a farmer. He's farming. You see a lake, or maybe that's the Mississippi River. That's the seal, but it's also what's on the flag. That's the
really?
flag.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
It says the Great Seal of the State of Minnesota, 1858. There's a river running through it.
Because we got a new seal, too. They were both different.
Okay, well, the seal's not on here, but this was the seal, and this is what's on the flag, and it's just a blue background.
Okay, why do they? I see beneath it they're saying it's offensive. What are they saying about it?
Well,
it's offensive because of the depiction of white settlers displacing the state's original inhabitants.
There's a little native guy back there, a very beautiful,
tastefully
majestic,
rendered,
tasteful Native American riding a horse with a spear. He's got a long, luscious ponytail.
Being forced off his property.
You see, well, in the image, it doesn't look like he's being forced off.
He's riding away.
It looks like they're coexisting. Maybe on the horse, he's like trotting the land. You know how they do that sometimes? They take a horse through the field. They kick up the dirt.
Uh-huh.
So it's leaving manure, and then the guy's planting seeds. Okay, there's a little musket. There's a stump with an axe through it, and it says "L'Étoile du Nord," which it sounds French to me.
It is French.
What does it mean?
I don't fucking know.
Okay,
I think the Star of the North, maybe.
Hey, man, I would understand if they erase the Native American. Just erase them. I mean, they did it with Aunt Jemima. They did it with Uncle Ben.
Just leave the white settler.
They did it with Land O'Lakes butter.
Because I think them eradicating that might even cause more issues. Because then it's like, well, now not only you're just erasing them from the narrative entirely.
Land O'Lakes is doing just fine, man. The logo, it looks pretty vacant. There's nobody standing there. They just got rid of the native lady, and they're selling butter just fine. No complaints.
I think they would have sold butter just fine regardless.
They would have sold butter just fine regardless,
People love
man.
their butter. Yeah, I mean, that new flag
look at this.
It's quite bland.
Look at this. And okay, I would accept the change if the new flag was in any way acceptable. If the flag was just the color blue with an image of the state of Minnesota on it, I would be happy with that.
So, guys, for those of you listening to the audio only, it's a white star, like an 8-pointed star,
like a North Star,
inside of a blue,
dark navy blue,
like, what would you call that shape? A weird.
I don't know.
I don't know. Keep describing it.
It's just a light blue on the right with a little triangle, and then a dark blue, and then a little ugly star. It's hideous. It's hideous. You don't want blue, light blue on your flag waving in the air, man. The sky is blue. It doesn't, these two blues are not, they don't coexist well.
Doesn't stick out. My consensus on this flag, if I had to, if I was forced to describe it in one word, I would say bland.
Bland. Right. Listen to this. The design of the new state flag features the shape of Minnesota. Are you shitting me?
Where?
This thing. They're calling this the shape of Minnesota.
That's insane.
My ass.
It's a rectangle with like 2 triangles on the end of it.
Two triangles.
It looks like if you cut a rectangle out of Pac-Man's mouth.
I guess if I were to squint my eyes or I was blind or something, I would say, yeah, maybe that is somewhat the shape of Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, if I was drawing Minnesota with my eyes closed and could only use straight lines,
yeah,
then that might be it.
And you were retarded.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
Now, listen, I bet this guy didn't even think. He didn't even think that he was drawing the state of Minnesota when he did it.
Oh,
the critics came up with it afterwards.
Shot.
No way.
Yeah. He took 2 shapes and then put a white star.
Cast in a deep blue and topped with an 8-point star facing north. Facing north?
It's a flag. It could face any direction. It blows
north?
in the wind. What are you talking about?
In the past month, 5 counties have passed resolutions against the flag.
Oh, as they fucking should.
As they fucking should, man. Get this ugly-ass flag out of here. Now. There's been plenty of noise the past month over the new design. And now listen, they talk about the people that oppose this flag like they're dumbasses. Like they're a little whiny Karen nuisance.
Well, they're also like, I think there's some subtext here, too, where it's like, because the old seal is racist, that
supposedly.
So if you don't like the new flag, it's because you like the old racist flag, you racist.
Because you're part of the GOP.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of noise the past month over the new design, but besides firing up conservatives, what exactly can Republicans and any other officials who oppose the new flag and seal actually do?
Besides,
on the legislative side,
kill themselves.
Not much. Following the adoption of the new state symbols, Senator Steve Drakowski, R. Mazeppa, I guess it's a town in Minnesota, and Representative Bjorn Olsen, non-voting members of the redesigned commission, said they wanted to put the new flag and seal up to a statewide vote. But Democratic farmer labor leader in control of the Senate and House have no interest. However, on the local government level, there may be more room for regional expression. Blah, 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 blah.
Can we just burn these flags?
Let's just burn these flags. I'm tearing them down.
I'm tearing them down.
If I see one of these stupid flags, I'm tearing it down. Because this fake, if you really care, move out. If you really feel bad for the Native Americans, that happened, 300 years ago?
Give your house to one.
Give your house to one, man. Give your house to one.
Because I'm gonna be honest. I don't think any native who's like broke as fuck and like displaced because of the everything that happened gives a flying fuck that we changed the goddamn flag. And I'm using the sort of royal we because I had nothing to do with it. They don't give a shit about this fucking shitty flag.
If a Native American is protesting this flag, I'm telling you right now, she's 16 years old and she's doing it for Instagram.
Yeah.
She's doing it for Instagram and her 100%. Friend group. To do a walkout at their school.
So they can go home and play Call of Duty.
Put this picture up on the screen, man, because I want the people to see that this Native American is majestic. He or she, I'm guessing it's a man because he's not wearing a shirt, but hey, they fly free like that.
I mean, I'd honestly be fine with a new flag that was like a bunch of Native Americans stomping on the head of white people if it was tastefully like that, like done well, if it wasn't just 2 colors.
It's just so ugly. It's so just bland. What's with this blandifying of everything?
It's the modern aesthetic.
Dude, you drive to McDonald's. It's such a depressing experience now.
Minimalize everything.
It's like a big gray square.
Really?
McDonald's?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't
Starbucks,
been there in a while.
They're big fucking bulky squares. I remember being a kid, driving up to McDonald's, big red roof with the yellow arches. It was just
incredibly
an
loud
experience.
Yeah, like in your face, oversaturated, like pop-ups on everything. you buy a Happy Meal and you're getting like fucking overloaded by content and colors.
Yeah, it's an experience.
And it was fucking sweet.
It's an experience.
Memorable.
Now you're going to the
McDonald's,
Gray Square.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's the future,
what is
man.
Going
I mean,
on?
that is like the we go to the multiverse and it's just going to be like everything in the real world will become a gray square, and all the colors will be in the fucking multiverse or in the fucking metaverse, whatever they call it. And that's why we'll never want to come back out here.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen. Listen to this. The flag the DFL has eliminated was a version of the historic flag our regiments fought under during the Civil War. Minnesota was the first state to offer troops to the Union cause in 1861, beginning a long tradition of leading the nation in confronting injustice and wokeness.
Big respect.
Minnesota, it's the wokest state on the planet.
No.
One of them.
Yeah, no.
No?
Fucking Cali is leaps and bounds ahead.
I would guess
New York is way ahead.
I would bet $1,000 we're in the top 10.
We're probably in the top 10. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Top 10.
Democrat, like literally. I think there's been one election in the history of elections where Minnesota went Republican.
Yeah, it's a blue state. I mean, there's tons of blue states, though.
I think it's an outlier with at least the presidential
I think
vote.
it's an outlier in this area a little bit, which might make you feel like it's woker than it is.
It's hella woke, you guys. So put the flag back. If somebody is going to pretend for a second that they like the new flag, I know they're full of shit.
Don't even put it back. Get something better. Fuck whoever made this thing.
I saw the kid's face, man. He looked like a smug little bitch.
How old is he?
23 or something. He looks young.
We need a 90-year-old man who's dedicated his life to art.
Yeah.
And just tell him don't draw any slaves or Native Americans getting kicked off of their property. And then we'll have something good.
You know how before every, show, half the shows you go see, they make sure that that we're on stolen land.
Yeah.
Why cover that up? If we want to acknowledge it so bad.
That's what that goes back to my idea about what we should have the Native Americans stomping on the head of a white person.
But that isn't what happened. Well, I'm sure a lot of natives did,
Yeah, but
eat some people.
I'm saying, let's, we have a sort of spurious bad narrative on the old seal.
Yeah.
Let's craft our own narrative.
Flip it.
Let's put the Native Americans on top.
Yeah.
Say, this is our land, bitch.
10
it's
hanging
symbolic.
white men.
It's symbolic. I'm not saying it literally happened.
Right. That's a good idea.
So that's my pitch for the flag. I'm not going to draw that because I can't really draw. Maybe you could do it.
Fuck it, man. I'll draw it. Yeah. Pen and paper.
I've been trying to think about, I want to make a chunk. And potentially we could do it together.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
But I've been trying to think of some ideas, but I've been so busy. I've been so devoid of ideas.
For those of you that don't know, Chunk is the Minute Hours zine
publishing company.
It's the whole publishing company,
so
right?
They publish zines from other creators along with like CDs or whatever, stickers, artwork, anything. It's not just zines. And each month you get a different thing. And you can sign up for Chunk on chunkmonthly.gumroad.com for I think $10 a month. You get something pretty sweet each month. Slouch's zine just came out. It's called Artificial Fruit. It's pretty cool.
I think it's missing a page, right?
It's missing a bunch of pages. Yeah, they kind of
shit.
dropped the ball, but he's going to do a second volume that's much more full. That's going to come out sooner or later on Chunk as well. So you could sign up for Chunk now and get access to Artificial Fruit Volume 2. It'll be pretty cool.
Don't do any of that, please. If you're listening to this,
go to our Patreon.
Just make sure that you have enough money saved up not to unsubscribe. One of my greatest friends, Hawken.
Well, this is public, so they're getting this free.
Hawken unsubscribed from my Patreon. Think about that.
Johnny unsubscribed from my Patreon.
I knew this guy. Oh, well, you don't know him personally. I see this guy once a month at least.
That is true.
In real life.
You should stick him up for $5.
I pointed it out to him. I said, hey, well, you're not that good of a friend. I think we were in an argument even.
Oh, really?
I said,
you fucking guilted him?
Yeah, well, you unsubscribed from my Patreon.
In person or were you playing CS?
Oh, no, it was over text, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I said, you know, what the fuck? He said, how do you know that? I know everybody. Maybe this isn't common knowledge to my patrons out there.
Patreon,
I know when you unsubscribe.
Patreon, literally on the front page when you open it, it says new members, and below it says canceled members.
It sends me a goddamn email when somebody cancels.
Yeah.
So don't think you're getting away. Man.
We know. We get the disappointing notification. Yeah, and then I'm like, well, damn. Because last episode, I did drop the ball on the audio. Told the bad story in the beginning, and I was like, fuck, did Big Johnny fucking left because of that? Because I fucked up an episode. But, guys, so Big Johnny, he's a former patron of mine. I have to say that. At least my ex-boyfriend.
Former patron, yes.
That would always leave a smattering of questions for us to answer, and it was really nice. It really padded out the end of the episodes. And now we don't have Big Johnny anymore, you guys. So I'm calling upon you. This is a free episode. You can leave comments, questions, whatever you want. Yeah. And we'll be answering them probably in the next few Patreon episodes. So you should get on that fucking Patreon and give us some fucking money.
Yeah, I guess do that.
Yeah.
I was talking about I was doing that stop motion last night. You want to see a frame from it?
I do.
Here's the theater procession. You could throw this up on the screen.
Damn.
Is that kind of cool?
That is kind of cool. I like it. It's
very noisy.
Very noisy. Yeah. I think a little too warm for me.
Yeah.
I want it to be colder.
Yeah.
Just color temperature wise, but that's a nitpick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think are you using that sunset lamp? Is that why?
Yeah.
I want a little more. It's so red.
It is very red.
So yeah, that just
it turns you off
a little. I've been working on this music video for my buddy Josh.
You got in an argument with him?
I did get in an argument with Josh. Josh called me, and I shot this music video with Josh back in October, and it's February now. And I've been working on it, but like sporadically because I have a job and a life, and my life went in the toilet in January. So
your life is always in the toilet mostly.
Went way deeper in the toilet than in a long time.
You went into the pipes.
And so Josh called me while I was down pretty bad, and basically the tone was like, "So what's good with the video?" And I was like, go fuck yourself.
Well, you did say that, but what led into that? What led into you telling him to go fuck himself?
So it was just a lot of that, and I kind of, he was like, Josh does like a lot of vacillating when he talks. You met him. Mm-hmm. So he sort of talks for like 3 minutes with the object of saying one thing that is apparent within the first 5 seconds.
Okay.
So it's like, I just been waiting, and and I've given you a lot of time to, like, I haven't hit you up at all, yada yada yada. The gist being, where's the video at? And so I come back and I'm like, hey man, so I've had a really terrible month, and I haven't been able to work on really anything, and so the video's not done yet. And then he kind of just kept pressing me about it and kept trying to be like, that's not a big deal. Like, okay, so I have to like push back the release of my album, but that's not your fault. And I was like, yo, like, I don't care at all right now. I'm like worried about my health.
Is it ready to go? Is the album ready to come out?
It is, I guess. But I was like, I'm worried about my health, and the way you're speaking to me right now sounds very entitled. Because he's receiving this music video for free, and then he sort of took issue with that, which I still think is ridiculous. And then I didn't actually just rip out, go fuck yourself. I said, imagine you're in my position, and somebody comes to you like when you're having the worst month of your life, and haven't been able to work on anything you want to do, and says, hey, where's this project that I'm getting for free? And then I said, you understand that my base reaction right now is one of go fuck yourself. Oh, okay. And then he obviously did not hear any of the words preceding those 3 words, and just took that as go fuck yourself.
Okay.
Which is understandable, I guess. Those are the most stinging words of that whole phrase, that whole sequence of words.
What did he say?
He kind of just did this thing where he vacillated a lot more and was like, yeah, like, I've given you a lot of grace. I haven't hit you up about this video. Like, I haven't. And I was like, giving me grace? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're not entitled to a finished video for free.
He's going to take you to court.
You're not entitled to shit. Like, I could scrap this video tomorrow and, like, that would be my decision. And then you'd be, like, without authority over it.
Yeah.
It's not yours. And I realized I overreacted and I got a little too pissed off. So Josh and I spoke the following morning, and we got on the phone, and I said, hey, man, let me talk for a minute before you speak at all, and then you can talk for as long as you want. And I just apologized. I said, hey, it's my fault. I will get this video done this month, and I have been working on it now because I am feeling a little better, and I'm making good progress. Thebe has helped a little bit on it, and I'm...
Thebe is our amazing 3D guy.
Animator friend. He's
subscribe to Thebe.
He's got a new channel now called Channel 404.
Really? He didn't tell me about this.
Okay.
What the hell, Thebe?
He's got no videos on there yet, but you can just go subscribe to it.
Yeah, go subscribe to Channel 404. Thebe has been doing the animations on our videos for years.
Years.
Now.
Yeah. Talk about someone we criminally underpay.
Yeah. I owe him money.
I don't, but he undercharges. He charges me good friend prices, which are, I'm sorry I don't have infinite money, Thebe. That's, if we had that $1 billion.
There we go. Give
Thebe $500 million.
Well,
$100 million.
I'd give him $1 million.
$50 million.
$50K.
$50 million for a lifelong prison sentence of working on our videos.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys made up. Josh is a cool dude, and he knows Timothée Chalamet.
He does know Timothée Chalamet.
He knows him personally. He grew up with him. He went to elementary school with them.
High school.
High school?
Yeah.
That's even cooler.
So
why doesn't he reach out to him?
Because Timothée Chalamet is Timothée Chalamet, and Josh's relationship with Timothée Chalamet is like having seen him at a party.
Well, fuck that guy.
Yeah. So, regardless, I was still kind of, even after we made up, I was still a little peeved about the tone that he came at me with on that first phone call, because I was like, I still feel like you're not really respecting the fact that I'm putting in all this work for you, not working on my own videos, not working on shit, and I just didn't really feel respected. And then he sent me a voice message sort of unprompted that was a minute long, just saying all of that, I really appreciate that you're doing this for me and working hard. And it was unprompted, and I admit in that moment I felt the tension leave my body for this man, and I was like, damn, okay, now I forgive you, you motherfucker. It literally just took him being I appreciate the work you're putting in, kind of genuinely.
He's your first friend.
He's one of my oldest friends, certainly. So shout out to Mr. Josh. That video should be done this month, guys, along with another big thing I'm releasing in March, which is my book. And I'm working on setting up a shop page currently.
Oh, shit.
And I think I'll probably launch a pre-order before the actual book is live. So if you guys want to buy a novel from me, you'll be able to do that probably in a couple weeks. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll be posting about it nonstop once it's up.
And you're just going to send it to some of your patrons, right?
The $20 people, but not new $20 people.
Okay.
Only the ones that I have not sent anything for 5 months because I've been finishing the book.
Speaking of which, let me thank Evie Zerker for joining my Patreon. Ben, Arden McNulty Myron, Motorbomb, Ben Bridge, Hub Robustry.
Let me thank Ritzy Police for joining the Patreon. Thank you, Ritzy.
Got some free members.
Okay.
Bunch of free members. You could join for free, too.
You can join.
But you can't watch the Patreon podcast. You'll just get some posts and shit.
Yeah. But you can still sign up for updates for free.
Yeah, there you go.
I
got some questions. Are we at the time of the podcast to answer some questions?
Yes, we are.
All right, let me see.
When it hits an hour, I'm just going to sign off because it's too cold and I want to get out of here.
Yeah. Grimovich, question for the podcast. Who has the bigger bicep?
Oh, certainly me.
Probably Thomas. But you never know with fat people. Fat people, they have to think about how I have to get out of bed every day.
I have bigger biceps than
That's
you.
probably lifting so much more weight than you ever do.
No.
If I have to stand up, if I have to put a shirt on,
your calves
think
are
about
probably
that.
bigger than mine.
Yeah, they probably are. And that's
biceps, no way. You're not using your biceps.
Dr. Flavortown asks, have you guys ever considered making a feature-length project? Sounds like you guys aren't too interested in the film festival route, but it could be a good way to advertise your content.
I would love to make a feature-length project, but that just takes a lot of resources.
Yeah.
I like, someone who makes feature-length stuff without, like, a ton of money, and, he's got a ton of money now, but not in the past, is Joel Haver.
Joel,
right? He makes a ton of features and has done it on, like, no budget, which I really respect.
Uh-huh.
But if I were to make a feature, I don't want to do it that way. I want the resources to make the thing in my head. Joel's really good at making these like slice of life features, and that's just not what I have in mind when I eventually want to approach a feature.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Joel's whole thing is like making features accessible for everyone, and I really can appreciate that, but that's just not what I want to do.
Johnny Moses, I'm curious.
What about you?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to make a movie. I mean, that's one of the goals.
Yeah.
Johnny Moses, I'm curious if you feel leaving your poops on the rim of public toilets was maybe the beginnings of your calling as an artist. I see a lot of parallels to your current work. I think you're correct in that assessment, Johnny Moses. He also says, have you thought about setting a goal of at least one video a month? I don't think YouTube will recommend you to a wider audience unless you get more clicks on your channel, which can only be done if there is more product for people to consume. That's my thought anyway. All good vibes your way. Thank you, Johnny Moses. I always love a comment from you. Johnny, maybe just a year ago, I was posting a video once a month. Year before that, we were
once
doing weekly
yeah.
videos, man. And
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So we're just fucked.
And Johnny, I had set a resolution this year to do 2 videos a month. And then in January, right off the bat, my health went in the toilet. And I dropped 10 pounds, and I haven't been able to gain a pound back since. And I'm still kind of waiting to get healthy again. And so my resolution went in the toilet. And I'm doing something even stupider, which is releasing a book, which is like a every 15 months thing. So I'm going even the opposite direction of consistency.
And he's a fucking book guy now.
Yeah.
He's writing books. How stupid is that?
It's pretty dumb.
Samuel Rush says, I really feel for you guys. With Thomas's health challenges, Thomas has health challenges always, Sam.
They're worse than normal right now.
And Eric, I recognize the procrastination demon emoji with the smile. When you were explaining your struggle with making videos, it hit home. I found the best thing is to just start filming, even when you don't like it. Then, once you have something on the timeline, it can be expanded from there. You got this. Samuel, you're completely right, man. You're completely right.
You're on the money.
And don't mind my complaining, Sam. It's just what I do constantly. It's the struggle for every video that you ever make.
Yeah.
He also says, done the same thing. Missed a whole first set of a band. He's referencing how we didn't hit record last week. Luckily, I had a backup camera. Oh, well. How tempted were you to do ADR? I hope that's sarcasm.
No, that did not. What crossed my mind, Samuel, was fucked. Should we just sit for another hour and do another new, just scrap that and do a whole new episode?
Yeah, hopefully that was in the tape. I refused.
Yeah, Eric did refuse. I don't know if that was in the tape. I don't think it was. I think we cut.
Yeah, you cut that.
Yeah. I think I cut the camera. I didn't cut it out.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, what? We're at an hour, you say? You want to go home?
I don't know. The timer hasn't gone up, but I think we're right there.
Sure.
Let me fish my phone out.
What to say? Let me think. I pulled out my vape today, and I reached in there, and I pulled out this big, black, long, worm-looking thing.
Oh.
And it was covered in brown vape juice. It was just disgusting, and it really turned me off from hitting my vape for an hour. And I got back to it, but
That's
knows?
Disgusting.
Who knows what's in these vapes, you guys? And I'm not saying it was a worm, like a living worm.
Like a worm-looking slime.
A worm-looking leech. It looked like a leech. And I'm just kind of scared about the quality control and the production of these Chinese vapes. Because...
Well, I don't think there's any quality control.
Yeah. And, sometimes, like, for example, I've had a headache the last 4 days.
Yes, you told me.
And I probably bought this vape 4 days ago.
Stop vaping.
So I think...
Vaping sucks anyway.
Oh, man, I need it.
You have cigs.
I know, but I can't go outside. I can't go outside to smoke a cigarette every 30 seconds. I need the vape. You have no idea what this vaping thing does for me.
I don't.
It makes my whole life whole.
I guess.
It gives me all the willpower to do any amount of work.
When I vaped and smoked in the past, I do remember having the thought of, damn, I'm only happy when I'm having a nicotine high.
Not even happy. It's just,
I thought I couldn't feel happiness without nicotine, though.
When you're working on something, every minute, every 5 minutes, you get this feeling of, oh, fuck, stop. At least I do with I feel like I have ADHD or something.
I think you do. I don't really get that.
I go, oh, fuck, this fucking sucks. And then when I pull out the vape, I hit it immediately. I'm back to work.
Juiced up.
Nicotine is the best work supplement.
Caffeine is superior.
Yeah, caffeine's good too, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Let's not drag this out.
Yeah,
we had 57 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for watching the podcast.
The free episode. And I'm gonna just hit the plugs again, guys. If you want an episode of this podcast every week, we drop them on Tuesdays now.
Tuesdays.
You can sign up to either of our Patreons, and for only $5 a month, you get 3 more podcasts a month. If we stick to this sort of one free one a month thing we've been trying to do.
I think we need to start giving
2 free ones a month.
No, giving the podcast any price.
No.
Okay.
That's fucking retarded.
Well, I mean,
You already do that, and it annoys me.
Well, don't say that, because now people are just going to subscribe to mine.
I know, but as soon as they find that out, they're going to do that.
Well, that's probably not the reason why I'm getting patrons. They have no
I
idea.
understand that, but it's...
I want the comments.
It's
I want
annoying.
the comments. Okay, well, sorry, guys.
You should have it be $5 only. You're an idiot, and you're losing us both money. You understand? So,
yes.
Despite being able to get the podcast for $1 a month on Eric's Patreon...
Well, my minimum's $2.
$2. I ask you from the bottom of my heart, fucking pay $5.
Pay $5.
We suffer for this podcast. It's miserable. Our mental healths are not excellent.
Yeah, they're not excellent, man.
We need more fucking money.
Listen, I'm going to kill myself.
I booked up my entire February with work, and I will not get a single video out this month because of it.
Things are not doing good.
If you guys were on my Patreon, I could be in the metaverse right now recording 1,000 podcasts, making tons of new videos for my YouTube channel that you guys would enjoy.
And you know what? I'm going to be bringing my Patreon up to $5 for the podcast.
Thank you.
So you're not going to be getting this anymore, Grimovich, for your $2. Sorry, Thomas told me to.
Sorry, Grimovich. Maybe he can get grandfathered in because he's been leaving questions.
That's the thing. I have, and also I haven't been sending out shit, so I'm like, when I get my shit together on Patreon, where I'm giving out the rest of the products that I should be.
Grimovich, if you can donate $2, you can donate $5.
And think about these people, $2.
It's an extra $3 a month. You got this, Grimovich.
After 3 months, that's $6. That's $6 whole bucks. That's at least valued at one podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you for watching. I want to go home.
Yeah.
And, go sit on my computer, and I'm going to work on some stop motion. Hopefully I'll send this frame to Thomas. He could pop it up on the screen when I talked about it earlier.
Later.
Yeah. Whoa, that's perfect.